Hi everyone, it's Dolly over at the Paper Plumeria. I hope you guys are enjoying your day. Today I wanted to share a few things that I've been working on, and as you can see, I've been working on a few junk journals, and of course these are not the normal size junk journals. These are miniature junk journals, as they're about the same size as my hand. They actually measure about 3 by 4. And I wouldn't call them micro minis, so I would just call them mini junk journals. And what inspired me to do this is because I had recently created a normal size junk journal, and it was a tea and roses theme. And I used this exact fabric for the cover. And so of course I had lots of scrap left from making that. And as with all of my other creations, I tend to have a lot of extra paper and sometimes extra fabric. So I wanted to be able to utilize all of my scraps, and I thought making these mini junk journals was the perfect way to utilize all of my scraps. In addition, I had been watching some YouTube channels where the crafty ladies were making either miniature junk journals with fabric or with paper, some with single signatures, some with double. There was just a variety of ways that these miniature junk journals can be created. And so I decided that I wanted to make my own using the scraps that I have. And as you can see, I went ahead and I made 3 of them in a vintage shabby chic theme, and then I also decided that I wanted to make 3 in a fairy theme. And I really do love Cecily Mary Barker. I have a collection of her books, and I had these little photos that I wanted to use, and they were the perfect size to add to a cover. So I decided that I would use those photos as the picture on top of the books, or as the cover. And as you can see, these are all fabric covers. They were so much fun to make and so quick to make, because of course you're working with such smaller pieces that it doesn't take as long. And of course these books, I did add the pages inside, but I did not personalize them because they may be going in Happy Mail, and of course I don't know if I'm the one who's going to use them, so I didn't want to personalize the insides. But I will be showing you the pages that I added to them. And so let me go ahead and start with the first one. And so my decision to make these into a double signature album is because I wanted to make sure that I had a thicker spine so that I could add dangles. And of course you can still add dangles to a single signature one, but I just kind of like the look of this. It's a little bit more chunky. And although I didn't really fill these up, and the reason why I didn't fill these up is because I want whoever gets these to be able to make it their own and add their tags, their personalized, pieces, their memorabilia, or whatever they have that they want to fill it with. So the very first one, and probably my favorite, my most favorite of all of these, is this one, and I'm going to go ahead and show you. So what I've added to this is I've just added this vintage little girl holding her doll, and I think that's why it's my favorite, because I love the picture. I've added some tulle behind this, and also this beautiful lace right on the cover, and this goes all around. And of course this little rabbit, it's a pink little charm rabbit, and I love that. These are 2 signatures that are tied in, and let me go ahead. I made these strings a little bit longer than usual, because if you were working in it, I wanted you to be able to have the room to open it up and not have all of these, on the side. And again, I don't know if I'm gonna use these for friend mail or if I'm gonna hold on to them. I really don't know at this point yet. So this is fabric. It's one of the fabric pieces that I purchased from Joann's. It's actually a scrap. I did use this in a previous project, I'm sure, because like I said, this was just a scrap piece. And these are the beads that I used, and I love how they match the fabric really well. It was really a challenge for me trying to put these beads in because I do have tools, but I don't really have separators, so I just used little seed beads to separate them. I'm going to have to probably check out the beading and jewelry section of some of my local stores to see if I can get some dividers, because that would have helped a lot. Okay, so here's what we have. Let me just show you what I've included. Again, a lot of these pages you're going to see are just torn pieces because these are just scraps, and I thought it was kind of fun to just have some messy pieces in there. So the first page is just a coffee dyed page that's a scrap paper, and then this is a pocket page, and on top you can stick a tag in here. It's actually a pocket, so you can add something here, and then just a piece of lace fabric, and then this envelope, or it was a little envelope that you can use as a pocket, little piece of remnant paper, and another piece of paper. It was from a bird book, and I've sewn on this cute little lace to create a pocket. Another scrap page from a book with roses. Some vellum paper. This was a scrap piece as well. All of these are mostly scrap pieces. This was from a book, and again it was a scrap page. And another, this was the other end of that envelope, or this might be the first part of the envelope. More coffee dyed paper, which is a fold out so you could have more room to write. Here's the other half of that envelope. So I'm just going to go through this really quick, actually, because I've got several books here, and most of them are filled with the same things. But what I like to do is I like to include a lot of room for journaling so that you can actually use it for something and not just, you know, to look at pictures. So another pocket page, more room for journaling. And I'm not going to flip through all of them because I don't want to bore you. I just kind of want to let you know that most of these have similar pieces. This is the end of an envelope, which I've turned into a little pocket. Again, it's not customized because, you know, I didn't have time to do that, and I don't know if this is something I'm going to keep. So here's the pocket. And so as you can see, it's filled with a lot of scrap pages that you can use to put your little memory or notes in. Isn't that pretty? Vellum, a little fold out, some tulle, and another pocket page, and that is it. So that is basically what this little book consists of. Same with all the others, and all I've used for this to close it is this really pretty piece of lace, and it works well as a closure. Just have to tie a little ribbon. Let me show you the other ones a little closer. I won't go through each page. Like I said, I don't want to bore you. So like I said, I think this is my favorite only because of that picture of the little girl. And then this one right here is a vintage lady, and it's really cute. She's holding roses, and I've added this little bulb pin with a cameo of a lady, and I thought it would be fun to just wrap some lace, some scrap pieces of lace that I had, and this kind of has a little bit of a shimmer to it. I don't know if you guys can see that on camera, but it does have little pieces of, I guess, sequence pieces that look very shimmery. So again, it's got pretty much the same types of pages. This is a vellum pocket page. So, yeah. Again, it was so nice to be able to save those pieces of scraps that I would have otherwise thrown away. I'm glad I was able to make something out of them. It always feels good to not waste. So, okay, let me show you. And also the beads on this match really well. I love how that looks together. Okay, so the third vintage one is this one, and this has this lady at her vanity. She's looking into a mirror, and I thought that was a really cute picture. And oh, this right here, this trim, this flower trim came from Trina over at Trina's Place. She had sent me a Happy Mail package with a long strip of these beautiful flowers, and I had to use them because they were just so pretty. I wanted them to go on something special. So, by the way, I also added some to the back, and this was not on purpose. This was in error because originally when I went to go put this on, it was upside down, you guys. And so I thank God that the glue that I used from the glue gun was still a little hot when I peeled it off, so I was able to. And so I didn't want the back. I needed to cover the back because I didn't want to leave the back with all of those little pieces of glue from what was torn off. So I thought that was okay. It covered up all of the imperfections. So, you know, we all make mistakes, and yeah, that was my mistake on this one. So again, a lot of miscellaneous pieces, scraps, and as you can see, a lot of these do look like scrap pages, but I really don't care because it actually gives it a more shabby feel. So, okay, and that's it for the shabby chic themed miniature albums or miniature junk journals. Let me go ahead now, and I want to show you the fairy themed ones. And so the first one is this, and I love this. I use this as the closure. This was actually a little baby headband, and all I did is I cut it and I sewed it to make it smaller. I reclosed it off with the sewing machine. And I love the picture on this one. It says Apple Blossom. And of course, this picture is by Cecily Mary Barker. If you know of Cecily Mary Barker, I'm sure you will recognize this photo. It's one of my favorites. And here are the beads that I used. This one's a little shorter as far as the dangle, because the other ones I made them a little longer because I realized that if I'm working with this, it's going to be hard to try and open the book and get these out of the way, so I decided that it would be easier to make the dangles a little bit longer. So I've added this little dragonfly charm to it because I thought it went well with the theme. Oh, and I forgot to show you guys, this one has a little perfume bottle because she's at the vanity, so I thought that went well together. And I don't know if I showed you this one. This one has a little rabbit, and I thought that was really cute. That's with the little girl. The other one had a cameo. I think I showed you this one. All right, so then this one, same thing inside. All the pages that you can just journal in. And there's some fold outs. There's pockets in here. There's vellum. There's all kinds of miscellaneous pages. There's envelopes that you can stick tags in. So same thing, pretty much the same thing. And I love the colors of this. I also added this lace, which has a lot of the shimmery sequins on it. And again, I don't know, I can't tell if you could see it on camera, but there's definitely a shimmer to this lace that I love so much, and I wish I had more of this. I actually got this lace from my mom, and I think it was a collar. It was meant to put on a dress as a collar, but she had a whole bunch of pieces of these, so I utilized them. That's why they're all uneven. Okay, so that is the first fairy book or fairy journal. The second fairy journal is this blue one, and I love this one too. It's got a little heart charm. And same with the closure. I used a little baby headband and I just re-sewed it to make it smaller. I cut off some of the band. So for this one, I used that same lace I was telling you about that has a little bit of that shimmer. And all I did is cut a strip and I added it going vertical instead of horizontal. And again, here is where it closes. The signatures are closed, or the signatures are sewn in. And here are the beads that I added to it. And I just wanted it to match the fabric that I used. Here's the back. I added a little bit of that pretty lace to the back of this as well. And here is the inside. Some cute little pages. A lot of them are, you know, blank because I want some journaling room. I don't like to add too many photos or pictures. If possible, you know, someplace to journal. Okay. And let's go ahead and put that back on. All right, so the last mini journal that I created was this yellow one. And this has a cute little butterfly on it. Here are the jangles, the charms that I used, not charms, but the beads that I used for this one. I didn't have too many yellow beads, but these are what I could find, so I thought that was sufficient. And I just closed this off with a piece of lace that I got. Again, this was like supposed to be a collar, I think, but it worked well. I added some lace to the edges of this, some cotton fabric to the backing on this picture and sewed that in. Nothing on the back of this. I want it to be a little bit more simpler. And this pretty fairy girl in yellow. So here's the inside of this one. Same thing, not that much different than the others. I've got my fold out pages, I've got my pocket pages, and a lot of room for journaling. So yeah, that is it. And oh my gosh, you guys, these were so much fun. I forgot I did add some tulle to some of the pages just so they would stick out. And again, I had so much fun creating these books, and I'm sure that if I ever have, or any remnants that I have in other prints, I probably will go ahead and make some more because they were fairly easy to make. They weren't very time consuming at all, and I love the fact that I can make so many in such a short time. And another thing that I forgot to mention is that these would be perfect for sending in friend mail because they're small, so they're very mail friendly, I guess. You could just put them in little envelopes and not have to spend a ton on postage. So they're very postage friendly is what I was trying to say. All right, so really that's it. That's what I wanted to share today. If you guys ever want to find some tutorials on miniature junk journals, that's all I did. All I did was go on YouTube and I typed in miniature junk journals and a whole bunch came up. And so many great ideas by so many fabulous crafters who inspired me so much to create and put these together. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I really appreciate you stopping by my channel, and I hope you all have a wonderful week. Take care. Bye-bye.